renaissance of the Arabic and Islamic worlds. He is recognized as one of the most influential leaders in the world, with lifetime achievements, distinctions, and outstanding contributions to education, accountancy, intellectual property, business administration, and management, commerce, ICT, science and technology, law, and other fields. He's also a former senator from Germany. Please join me in welcoming His Excellency.
Good morning. I'm honored to be here this morning. Such an esteemed audience, including many leading internal audit experts and practitioners from across the globe. I started my career as an auditor 60 years ago, 60, more than half a century of experience in auditing. I understand the underlying pressures on internal auditors to deliver timely, comprehensive reports. And having served on more than a dozen international accountancy boards, including IFAC, IASC, and as chairman of UN ISAR, and as chairman of the UN Professional Organization of Academic of the Professional Degrees, and many other. That's in the field of accounting. I always felt, and please forgive me for being critical, I always felt that we in the profession are generally very slow to react rather than lead changes. We claim and take pride in saying that we are a conservative profession. Conservative. We are conservative. And it seems that this self-claimed conservatism is a deterrent to our development, particularly in the era of knowledge revolution. I have a paper which I have circulated to, or given to the Secretariat, which the Secretariat can feel free to circulate it. So I would like to go out of order and go beyond the written text and address a few themes on this important opportunity with you. First, the world is entering what we know and call the fourth industrial revolution. Unfortunately, the profession does not realize that yet. And I'm talking about the entire accounting profession. Auditing, internal auditing, everything that we call professional services. We have not caught up with this yet. More than 20 years ago, I had the privilege of sitting on a panel like this one on this stage with Bill Gates and 4 eminent personalities. And we were talking about the future of the world. And I asked Bill Gates the question, in 2 words, how do you describe this century? We were not talking about the decade, talking about the 100 years. He said artificial intelligence. Where are we in the profession of artificial intelligence? Almost zero. Artificial intelligence is the future of everything. Is the future of everything. It's the future of education, the future of business, the future of medicine, future of agriculture, of sea, air, everything. The whole world will be, as I have learned many years ago, the future is artificial intelligence. We have, in our organization, established the first university or college of its kind on innovation in artificial intelligence. As to our professional services, we have decided to invent an AI auditor who will do the audit instead of me, the human being. It will be a problem. Well, unless we catch up with what is needed in the future, we will find ourselves out of business as auditors. If the accounting department is AI enabled, and we cannot do an AI enabled audit, the technicians will do it. And technology is very enabling. I chaired, among other things, the UN Global Alliance for ICT for Development and the UN ICT Task Force in 2001. And we foresaw the future of an ICT-based revolution in everything in this life. We need to make it mandatory in auditing and internal auditing for our practitioners to have a foundation course in artificial intelligence. How many auditors have been trained in artificial intelligence? 1%? I'm being very generous when I say 1%. That is not acceptable. Every auditor must be AI educated, because the community will be so. Because I remember that when I served on IFAC, and that was in '92, International Federation of Accountants in New York, it took me 6 months to convince the board to have an ICT task force. No, that's technology. We are auditors. This is technology. I tried to explain that as auditors, we need to be technology equipped because our clients are, and are going to be more so. Now that is a problem in the profession. We do not see ourselves as leaders like the business community. And I would like to take this opportunity to call on the profession to do what we are doing. We are, as I said, we are inventing a tech auditor who will not be a human being, who will be a program who can access the client's system and do the audit. Why do we need to go and check the application of international accounting standards when we have all these standards we can have them on a program and use this program to check the client's accounts against this program? If we do not become technically able to catch up, the technicians will take over. There will be no auditors. There will be an ICT audit expert and not an auditor. Now, having said this, and I want to be very, very brief, I don't want to bore you with the text and with reading the text. It's there, and I'm sure it will be on the website of this conference or be circulated. I want to move to another issue which is very dear to my heart. And I don't want to miss this opportunity without talking about it. And we as auditors, and particularly as internal auditors, have to recognize that the world is going, and I claim that, into a recession next year. Some of you may have heard me say this more than a year ago. 2 years ago, I started this shout. Be careful, we're going to have a serious economic crisis. Don't be misled with the fictitious figure that you hear and read about in the world economy as a result of pumping in dollars and liquidity. There will be an economic crash. And it's not like the 2008 financial crash. That was in the money market. And the money market is a parallel market. It is not the economic market. People can sit in a stock exchange and deal with billions. It will not add $1 to the GDP. I'm talking about an economic crisis this time. A very serious economic crisis, which I wrote, and if you want the detailed report on that, you can find it on TAG Global website. But I want to focus on one point. Crises are sometimes an opportunity. We have heard in our life about world lords. We have heard about people who know how to make money in a crisis or in a war. I'm not talking about making money out of the war, because governments, many governments, will know how to make money out of this coming crisis. And by the way, this is not something new. In 1985, I was at a seminar at the National Science Academy in Washington. And the theme was, where will the US be in 2020? In 85 of the 19th century, they were talking about where will the US be in 2020. 3 conclusions after 4 days of debate. China will be the leading economic power. It will be the super economic power of the world. Number 2, if you are the super economic power, you are the superpower, full stop. Because there is no power without being a super economic power. Number 3, we have to stop that from happening. Number 1 and number 2 are coming to realization. But conclusion number 3 is not happening. And if we want to be thought-provoking, if I want to be thought-provoking, I would say it is happening. Because the US will not allow China to lead the world. Economically, and an added point, technologically. Today, China is not just parity, as Fortune mentioned, not me. Fortune magazine said China reached parity with the US economically. And technically, they have an edge over the US. And the evidence is Boeing is manufactured in China. Your iPhones are manufactured in China. That is a serious problem. Therefore, I know and I believe, and we have been preparing for this crisis that is coming, which will end up, as Jeffrey Sachs said. I am very proud to be a friend of Jeffrey Sachs, and we exchange discussions at international fora. He said this, we are already, and I'm quoting, we are already in a Cold War between China and the US. And this Cold War can anytime become a reviewer. End of quote. We have to be prepared for that as internal auditors. This offers, this opportunity, unfortunately, but fortunately for us, offers a great variety of services that we can offer and that can be an opportunity for us. Therefore, I want everybody, every one of us, like we are doing, to see how you can replace yourself, restructure yourself and your organization to be equipped to provide the needed services in a crisis period. You can become a great firm and a great service in helping the community get out of the crisis by offering crisis services. And that's what we are doing, and that's what I hope the profession will do. But all of that has to be AI-based. We have to realize that we are in the period or epoch of history where artificial intelligence will move and change and build our future. Not only in business, not only in products, but including in our own selves. Artificial intelligence will has the ability to make us better persons, physically, physiologically, intelligence-wise, memory-wise, lifespan-wise, and in every way. It is not like the other previous so-called revolutions, the first, second, and third, which were sectorially determined to be designed. Here is an artificial intelligence which affects every sector in our life and in the life around us. Thank you very much.
Come